In 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hey, what is up, guys? Horror Nights Fan 13 here. And here ends my 4th season of updating for Halloween Horror Nights 2000, or not Halloween Horror Nights 2018, for Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2015, 2016, 2017, and now 2018 has come to a close, and I close it out as always with my video going over the full lineup and then my anticipation for everything. So without further ado, let's get into the video. We are going to go through this one section at a time. We're going to cover all of our 8 mazes. We're going to cover the Terror Tram, the Scare Zones, and then the show. So, as always with our mazes, we're starting off with our codenamed mazes. Did he just say mazes? Yeah? I kind of forgot to talk about this one in one of the announcement videos, but John told us, oh yeah, the hints that I told you weren't hints actually were hints. And here's the code name for Halloween 4, Michael Myers comes, or the return of Michael Myers. So, we're going to start off with our first code name. In the Revenge of the Mummy queue, codename Olympics is Mike Doherty's Trick or Treat. In the Waterworld queue, codename Eminem, no, not the candy, the rapper Eminem, is Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. So, I'll explain the quick connection to that one real quick. John said in one of the hints, hint to the codename of a maze is a famous rapper who, to my knowledge, has never been to Halloween Horror Nights. So, the rapper was Eminem. M&M. Michael Myers. Yeah, it was pretty dumb, but I applaud him for that pun. And now we move on to our blind speculation mazes. These are the mazes with codenames either we did not get to hear or no codenames whatsoever. So on the top deck of the park, the same location where, the top deck, where Waterworld is, where Parisian Courtyard is, and where Walking Dead attraction is, and as well the entrance at Terror Tram. In Parisian Courtyard is our Universal Monsters maze music by Slash Maze. I know it's not probably called all of that, it's just Universal Monsters. And then it just kind of tagged in there hey, Slash is here too. So, and then we move down to the lower lot. We've already covered that Trick or Treat will be there in the Revenge of the Mummy queue, the same location as The Shining. And now we move to our soundstage maze. Probably the most popular maze of this year's event is going to be Stranger Things in Soundstage 29, right behind Transformers. Right next to Transformers is a soundstage that does not exist anymore. And now moving out onto the back lot at our Metro Sets location, the same spot as Ash vs. Evil Dead last year, Krampus the year prior, is the first Purge based off of this year's The First Purge movie. Now we move outside of Soundstage 747, and based off of the 1982 Tobe Hooper film is Poltergeist. And then our final maze out at the backlot Old American Horror Story and From Dusk Till Dawn venue is the Horrors of Blumhouse Chapter 2 featuring Truth or Dare and Unfriended. Now I'm going to go through my anticipation of all the mazes. So we're going to start from number 7. Oh, I can't forget to mention it. On Universal Boulevard, our good old The Walking Dead attraction will of course be open for Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2018. I'm not going to include that in my anticipation list. However, we will start at number 7 on my anticipation list. That one being The Horrors of Blumhouse Chapter 2. Why is it so low? The properties just don't make sense to me. The only thing that gets me excited about this maze is the original ending. However, I'm giving John the benefit of the doubt, and I do think it could be a good maze. Up next to my number 6 slot, I should mention, the only ones I really felt that were worth distinguishing were the top 3 and the bottom 7. These rest 3 are kind of tied, but I'm just a little bit excited for each of them more. So, number 6 is Poltergeist. Yeah, I'm not as excited. I explained why in my Poltergeist announcement video, so I'm kind of going to rush this because that blinking red light has come on that's telling me I'm out of battery. So we move on to my number 5 maze slot, and that is Halloween 4. John has killed all of the Halloween mazes that he's done in the past. They've been awesome, at least all the ones I've seen. I didn't see the original one that they did years ago, but I think Halloween 4 will be good as well. just not as good as the other two. Moving up to number 4, The First Purge. Yeah, I know. I think this maze will be really good because I do think The First Purge had a lot of good maze potential, and if they translate it well, like I think they will, I think we're in for a surprise because a lot of people were very cynical, including myself, about this announcement, but now I think we'll be good. So, moving on to my number 3 most anticipated maze, that would be Stranger Things. Yeah, I know, I'm not as excited for it as most people. I do love Stranger Things. I think seeing the Demogorgon in real life will be awesome. And I think it being in a soundstage with all those effects will be incredible. I'm just excited for these next 2 a lot more. Number 2 is Mike Dougherty's Trick or Treat. The mazes that I've seen down at the Mummy venue have mostly been pretty great. And by mostly been pretty great, I mean like the last 2 years have been pretty great. The Exorcist and The Shining have been awesome. I think Trick or Treat will be amazing. And I'm so excited for it because they've been waiting for over a decade to be doing this maze. And now that they're finally doing it, there's no way they're not going to do it justice. They knocked Krampus out of the park with Mike Dougherty, so now let's knock Trick or Treat out of the park with Mike Dougherty. And then, of course, number 1 most anticipated, Universal Monsters, music by Slash. We've got Slash in there. We've got most of the Universal Monsters. Sorry, good old Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm a huge Classic Monsters fan. This is John's passion project. This is his baby. He will not let this fail. It is going to be incredible. Now, moving on to the Terror Tram. So, I think someone needs to fire the continuity guy on that video shoot. Oh wait, that's me. I'm fired. Bye guys. I'm just kidding. Can't leave you guys yet. So, yeah, if you notice, I'm not wearing the same shirt. It's because I'm shooting the second half of this video 2 weeks later. Sorry about that. College gets busy. So, where I last left off was I just ranked all of the mazes in my order of anticipation for the year. And now, I'm going to move on to our next attraction, the Terror Tram. So the Terror Tram this year is Terror Tram Hollywood Harry's Dead Time Stories. Now let me read the description on the website for you guys. Hollywood Harry, the Phantom Clown, infamous for terrorizing the Universal Studios backlot, has returned to Terror Tram as host of an all-new blood-curdling experience. Brace yourselves for the unspeakable horrors depicted in this demented rendition of Harry's 1950s television show. As you journey through 5 spine-tingling bedtime stories, attempt to survive the chainsaw-wielding monsters, bloodthirsty cannibals, rotten corpse scarecrows, homicidal clowns, and a merciless torture factory. You better get some sleep while you can, because after you experience Hollywood Harry's Dead Time Stories, you'll never sleep again. So, that is our Terror Tram this year. Yes, we are having another original concept Terror Tram, and we have brought back Hollywood Harry. If you are fairly new to the event and you don't know who Hollywood Harry is, he's only been around for a little bit. He was first introduced in 2016 for Eli Roth Presents Terror Tram. He was an original character created for that, and the fans loved him so much that John has decided, let's bring him back for a second round. So yeah, Hollywood Harry is going to be featured on our Terror Tram, along with 5 Dead Time Stories. It should be a good Terror Tram. The original theming is what is going to make it a lot better than the IP theming. I don't know how amazing it's going to be because even with the original theme, I still think Terror Tram is just meh, but hopefully we are proven wrong. And now we are going to be moving on to the scare zones. And we have quite a few scare zones this year. More scare zones than we have, we had last year. And I believe more than we had in 2016. About the same that we had in 2015. Alright, so what are they? Well, the scare zones for this year are at the entrance of the park. Down Universal Boulevard, we have an original theme scare zone. This one is Hell's Harvest. This is our original theme zone, it's our entrance zone. This is where our Chainsaw Brigade is going to be. I'll read the description on the website right now. Hell's Harvest. Enter a pagan harvest festival where the dark spirit of Halloween was born. The streets are filled with strange bewitched dolls brought to life through dark magic. This army of evil dolls are looking for the next victim for the human sacrifice. Will it be you? Now, moving on to a scare zone that shares the entrance zone. So, this is how I'll describe the layout. You enter the park. This is the big fountain. You go up Universal Boulevard. That is where we're going to be seeing Hell's Harvest. Now, up at the New York area, more towards the entrance to Universal Plaza and Universal Monsters Maze, and the big New York wall facade, we are going to be seeing an IP scare zone. I believe this is our only IP scare zone. One can be argued that it's IP inspired, but I mean, this is our IP scare zone, and it is going to be based off of a maze that we're featuring this year as well. Mike Dougherty's Trick or Treat is coming in scare zone form along with maze form. I'll read the description. The frightening characters from writer-director Michael Dougherty's anthology horror film Trick or Treat will have descended on the small Midwestern town of Warren, Ohio during their annual Halloween celebrations. Lurking in the fog are vampires, werewolves, zombie children, and Sam, the vengeful spirit of Halloween, who will stop at nothing to ensure his rules for the season are being upheld. Now, this scare zone is already under construction. We see a lot of props in there. There are plaques describing the rules for Halloween. We see the school bus. There's going to be a photo op for Sam in this scare zone as well. So that's very exciting. And I think one of the best bits of news about this opening scare zone, well, one, this is our opening ceremony theme. So the opening ceremony will be themed to Trick or Treat, and I believe it will also incorporate characters of Hell's Harvest, because I don't think the Trick or Treat characters will be on our Chainsaw Brigade. It will be more so the Hell's Harvest characters. Speaking of the opening ceremony. Opening ceremony. Good lord. Cannot speak today. Speaking of the opening ceremony, the Flame Towers are back. Yes, the Fire Towers have returned since their absence in 2016. It's very good to have them back. You know what else is good to have back? A scare zone on French Street. Have not featured this as just a solo scare zone since 2015. 2016 it was featured in the Purge Gauntlet of Fear, and last year it was completely blocked off as an entrance to the VIP lounge, and the exit of Blumhouse was routed to Baker Street rather than being routed to French Street. So, on this scare zone, we will be featuring Monster Masquerade. Monster Masquerade, step into the fog-enshrouded streets of Paris and enter the Dance of the Dead, a macabre of monster masquerade inspired by the original Universal classic monster movies Phantom of the Opera and Hunchback of Notre Dame. I covered this scare zone briefly in my Universal Monsters video, so I'll just cover it again. This scare zone is going to be a continuation of the Universal Monsters maze. We are going to be featuring Score by Slash in this maze, or in this scare zone. The score from Slash is going to continue from the maze out into the scare zone. There are going to be some key characters in there. We've got the Red Death Phantom, Stilt Walker character, and we have Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He's going to be in there as well, roaming around. But all of the Masquerade attendees are going to have masks inspired by the classic monsters. The ones that we've seen key arts for are ones that are like Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Dracula, Dracula's Brides. It's going to be an incredible scare zone, and it's going to be a nice way to continue the maze structure for Universal Monsters, just making it one massive experience. Moving on to the transition from the lower lot to the back lot is our tunnel scare zone, Route 666 scare zone. This one is going to be Toxic Tunnel, with two X's this time. We have X. Now if it had 3 X's, that'd be a completely different tunnel. Oof. So, Toxic Tunnel. There's been a terrible industrial accident deep inside an underground utility tunnel. The noxious vapors... Noxious? I can't read. That were released have transformed the emergency workers into radioactive monsters filled with an uncontrollable rage and hell-bent on our destruction. You know, it sounds decent on paper. Why doesn't it sound good in real life? Because it feels like we're going through a rave with mutants rather than, you know, actual like radioactive tunnel. But I mean, that's just me being nitpicky. Time for the rave tunnel again. Woo, woo. Toxic Tunnel was not a great scare zone last year. It serves as a transition. Honestly, if they just toned the strobe lights down a little bit, gave it more eerier lighting, better music, good like sound effects for like, you know, the radioactive meters going off, I think that would be a bit better. Who knows? But I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. And our final scare zone for this year, down on the backlot, our Gauntlet scare zone. This one has been announced for quite some time. It is Holidays in Hell. Now, every day is Halloween, and it's a reverent send-up of the holidays of the year. Encounter creepy cupids, lecherous leprechauns, and evil Easter bunnies as you take a terrifying trip through these psychotic seasonal celebrations, screaming all the way. So, Holidays in Hell. This scare zone is going to take us chronologically from first holiday of the year all the way through the last holiday of the year. We're going to be encountering evil creatures from holidays such as Dia de los Muertos, Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Halloween, just the staple, Valentine's Day, New Year's, Christmas. We're going to be seeing a lot in this scare zone. It should be pretty fun. I'm very excited for this one. So now, I will give my rankings on these scare zones. At number 5 is Toxic Tunnel. Number 4, Hell's Harvest. Number 3, Holidays in Hell. Number 2, Trick or Treat. And number 1, Monster Masquerade. Not Masquerade, that was a 2014 zone. Monster Masquerade. So why did I rank everything like that? Well, we put Toxic Tunnel at number 5 because it's the Wub Wub Tunnel. Hell's Harvest doesn't sound that interesting to me. It just sounds like a good entrance zone. However, the decorations around the park do have me excited for this one. Holidays in Hell, I am very excited for this one. Don't get me wrong. Very excited. It seems like it's going to be a great scare zone. But I'm not as excited for it as Trick or Treat and Monster Masquerade. Trick or Treat I'm excited for because I know the characters in the maze are going to look incredible, and I know the characters in the scare zone are going to look just as incredible. Orlando pulled off this scare zone in a very small little area. We've got a very wide open area. We've got a lot of set pieces for this zone. It's going to look awesome. And Monster Masquerade, continuing with the music by Slash and just the classic monsters. It's going to be awesome, and I'm super excited. And to round out this year's lineup, our show, yes, of course, the Jabbawockeez. 2014, 2015, 2016, for their 4th year in a row, the Jabbawockeez will be performing at the Castle Theater, the special effects stage venue at Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Studios Hollywood. That about wraps up this year's lineup. Thank you all for sticking with me, and I know it's been rough because I have been terrible at uploading this year, but thank you for sticking with me, not only for this year, but this is my 4th year doing this. All other years, thank you guys so much for sticking with me. It means a lot to me, and now it's time to do what I always do, plug the social media, and also, tell you to like and subscribe and everything, and then just end the video. So, thank you all for watching. Please show your support. Like the video if you like it. Comment what you think about this year's lineup, what you're most excited for, your order of anticipation with the mazes, the scare zones, everything like that. And subscribe to keep up with my coverage of the event. Soon I will be posting a video. I have the trip planned. The only thing I don't have the tickets bought yet, and I don't have my Greyhound back from Arizona yet booked, but we have the date. So as soon as everything is confirmed, I will be putting out a video to cover my trip to the event. I will be vlogging at the event this year, and I will say this now, if this year delivers, and it is my favorite year of the event, I will be making a second trip back for closing night, given all of the circumstances, allow it. If I have the money, if I have the time, everything like that. But just given those circumstances, if everything goes to plan, I will be making a trip back for closing night on November 3rd, but my first trip is going to remain a mystery for a little bit. Follow social media. They're going to know about my trip first at HTMFan13 on Twitter. You get a follow back on there as well. Yeah, that's about it. Stay tuned to hear about when I'm going to the event. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.